Very inspiring. Thank you. One more round of applause for the BFA class of 2025. Now we're going to turn to our MID program candidates. And our next speaker will be addressing MID class of 2025. Joe Bertucci is a BIM VDC specialist and Autodesk certified professional for Revit with over 10 years of industry experience, working with multidisciplinary teams and leading technical integration and execution on a variety of large-scale projects, ranging from theme parks to Amazon customer fulfillment and logistic buildings, programs, and more. As an educator, Joe specializes in teaching technology-integrated design courses at Design Institute, including MID elective focused on study of building information modeling, BIM for short. I already mentioned that. Some of you probably were curious what she's talking about. And Revit, of course. Like many of DI faculty, Joe is active in the industry, and he currently works as an associate at Cunningham, where he leads focus on BIM and digital twin workflows at all levels within his studio. Joe, please welcome, join me.
Oh, it's good to be back to you. Graduates, faculty, family, and strangers who wandered into here thinking this was a T-Rex exhibit. Good evening, and congratulations to the class of 2025. I want to begin by acknowledging this beautiful venue, the San Diego Natural History Museum, a place that celebrates evolution and extinction. Kind of like your final projects, where some ideas thrived, and others that didn't make it past schematic design. Back in 2022, I spoke for the BFA program. Now I'm back for the MID program. Humbling, but also alarming. Seriously, who keeps giving me a microphone? For those that don't know me, I'm Joseph Bertucci, and I teach BIM here. If you wish to know more, I'll save you the commentary and invite you to go watch part 1. Yes, you heard that correctly, which makes this a sequel. Last time, I spent half my jokes talking about how my hair made me look like different characters like Bucky Barnes. You know, the Winter Soldier, that emotionally scarred super assassin with perfect hair conditioner. Bucky's story arc is one of the strongest in the MCU. In Captain America, the Winter Soldier, he spends the whole movie uncertain of who he is and not in control of where he is going. There's a moment where Bucky doesn't even recognize his friend, Steve Rogers. But Steve chooses not to fight back or to give up on his friend. Instead, he reassures him by saying, "I'm with you until the end of the line." That quote always stuck with me because life is a fight and failure is inevitable. And sometimes all it takes is just someone to remind you of who you are, what you are doing, and that you are not alone. Here at DI, we pride ourselves in caring for our students, education, and careers. Since 1977, our values have not changed. As our president, Margot Doucette, has said, we are truly a family. By embracing the faculty, staff, and students, led to a family culture that continues today. Your education is personal to us. Your education here gave you the map, the guidebook, the chance to test your own compass. You experimented, collaborated, and built portfolios that reflected your voice. Over the last few years, we've made major strides for design technology. introduced BIM for MID students, redeveloped our technology integration design classes, implemented Autodesk Construction Cloud for project collaboration, and offered Revit certification for those that wanted to flex their modeling muscles. For those who took Revit, had to balance it with other courses, group work, and real-life stress. A full roller coaster. Let's be honest, there were highs, and then there were lows. And then there was your midterm. Remember that? Ah, yes. I see all those eyes sinking into the back of your heads. Did you think it was going to be easy? The midterm was meant to challenge you. It was supposed to stress you out, to break you down. Until then, you had guidance. This time, you were on your own. It wasn't perfect, but perfection wasn't the goal. Trying your best was. And just like everything else, your midterm was just another assignment along the way to test you. That this was just the halfway point. And now was time to finish your final projects. You've been given the tools, now the real work begins. It's in these moments where we pause and reflect. That's why I titled this speech, Point of Reflection. In design, a reflection point is where symmetry emerges, a mirror to yourself, where you look back to understand where you're headed. Last time, we talked about beginnings, but today is about looking back. Reflection isn't just about nostalgia, it's about insight. It's that breath before you leap. The moment you ask, am I still chasing what I believe in? Last time, I spoke about the value of mistakes. But what life doesn't prepare you for is trying and then failing. The feeling to lose. Failure can be defeating and hard to come back from. Years ago, I felt it myself. I doubted whether I could be an architect. I was confident until I wasn't. I went years without passing any exams, and my attempts continued to stack up. There were moments of feeling depressed, defeated, and I considered walking away from it all. Then, out of nowhere, I got a letter from an old teacher of mine. He had found one of my first architectural sketches just buried in his binder. He had followed my career and thought that I should have it. So he sent it to me. You know, that sketch sits near my desk to this day. It's the small gestures that can have a lasting impact. Because sometimes it's the reminder of who you were is exactly what you need to find your way back. In my classes, I have a tradition that can't go unheard. I end with a final thought. Detaching from the lesson to talk about life, I have done so every week, and today I plan to treat this class no different. So, for one more time, I present the final thought. Let me leave you with one last story. A while back, my wife and I went to a party for a production she worked on. Centered around a campfire, I met a producer who spent time in a hospice center. He thought it was the end of his life. Thankfully, he recovered. But he told me about a man he shared a room with, someone not as lucky. That the man had everything, money, cars, property. But in the end, he didn't ask for his investments. He didn't ask about his career. He didn't ask for his prized possessions. He asked for his loved ones. No one came. In the end, it wasn't his accomplishments that mattered. It was his relationships, and he had none left. You're all about to go and build careers, chase success, do amazing things. But my lesson for you is don't lose yourself in the process. Don't sacrifice connection for achievement. Because what good is the dream if you have no one to share it with? Which brings me to you, my students, graduates, and alumni. Today, I gave you all an envelope and told you not to open it. That it might be small for some, but everything to others. Before you open it, I want to take you back to our first day together when you were given your first assignment. Do you remember it? It had nothing to do with the lesson, but rather something much simpler. I asked you 5 questions. Are you looking to learn? Will you find something you love? Do you believe you will have fun? Will you try your best? And lastly, what is your dream? Did you think I forgot what you said? I invite you now to open your envelopes. Inside is your answer, your destination, your dream. From your curious beginnings to now, uncertain of what's next, this is your reflection point. Because when confidence fades and the world hits hard, you just need that reminder of where you started to remember where you're going. That there's still someone in your corner when you feel like you're alone. This moment is not your beginning nor your end. This is your midterm, a test as you enter the real world. Did you think it was going to be easy? It's supposed to challenge you, to stress you out, to break you down. Until now, you've been given guidance. It's now up to you to figure out what to do. Are you ready? The mission is not over. You're halfway to your destiny. You've worked your whole life for this moment. You've been given the tools. Now the real work begins. This is your dream, your assignment, your mission. Now finish it, because I'm with you until the end of the line. Thank you all and congratulations.